So, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. It is time for another fuzzy chats, chilled fuzzy chats. Can't forget the chilled part. And yeah, it's been an interesting last 24 hours since we were last chilling on the air. And last stream occurred yesterday night, late last night, about 2.75 hours long kind of stream. Chill fuzzy chats talking about all sorts of things that were trending in the pipelines of Manchester United, all the chatter to do with Manchester United and all of that good stuff. We also had Wolfgang Division last night as well as a special guest, first time on the channel. Big ups to him for joining me on that stream. It was a real pleasure to have him on. Early doors football. Good to see you. Hope you are doing very well, buddy. Hope everything's good with you. But yeah, today, last 24 hours has been interesting because we've had the official breaking that Richard Arnold is going to be parting ways with Manchester United Football Club, and he's going to be gone by latest the end of the year. So I think with this, it's interesting. It's good. It is categorically good news for us as United supporters because let's be real, Richard Arnold, as stated in the letters, the love letters of thanks from Glazers and all of that stuff, um, talking about Richard Arnold saying, "Oh, thank you." Thank you for working for us and doing an excellent job for the past 16 years. And oh, we'll miss you. You've elevated this club to new heights and all of that sort of talk, right? We can all cut through the BS and straight away we can pick out all the nonsense that is. It's just nonsense statements at the end of the day. But Joel Glazer spoke about it, about him glowingly, and Richard Arnold also issuing a statement. And Patrick Stewart said to be the person taking over yet again, but this one is as an interim. But nonetheless, we are back once again talking about someone from within getting the promotion into the big spot. So yeah. I suppose this also comes with the knowledge that this ratification period, right? Unironically, it's Ratcliffe that's awaiting, to be ratified to getting ownership or his 25% ownership of the club. And the rumor is that the process of ratification should sit around 6 to 8 weeks from the point of announcement. So that means that time is running out between now and the January transfer window because we are about 6 to 8 weeks away from the January transfer window opening. So time is of the essence with that, to that degree. But the talk is that we should expect to see an announcement of the deal at some point next week. That the deal will be announced next week, but then the official ratification period means that we know who's coming in, we know what it's about, but we won't know. We won't know what the changes are definitely going to be made because we've had also confirmed as well that the intent from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos is to come in to do an assessment, have sit down interviews with everybody in the club and just okay, so what's your role in the club, what do you do, what's the landscape looking like from your perspective, and what is your aims or intentions and all of that sort of stuff, right? It's like a catch-up type chat, but rather than catch-up, it's more introductory chats. Now maybe there's potential to this not being as much of a a mainstay that a lot of people might still keep their jobs as such. But I think one person who I think got this probably most accurate would be someone like Mark Goldbridge when he was asked about the potential to changes already being lined up and being made rather instantaneously, to the point of him actually being allowed to make changes to the structure of the sporting elements of the club. Um, but that doing this sort of assessment when you come in, even though you kind of know you're already going to change everybody, right? You're going to sack everybody that isn't your guy and then bring your guys in, right? That's kind of part and parcel to the aspect of what the intentions for this deal is going to be, at least for sporting structure, or the interest in that sort of department anyways. But maybe there will be those sorts of conversations, and it does, factor into the conversations about not Richard Arnold, sorry, John Murtagh. Not his job is not under threat at the moment, and it is. There's a big, it's all block capitals underlined and enclosed in brackets that John Murtagh, his job's safe for now, but it probably isn't going to be safe for very long. It is probably just a matter of when, rather than if he gets replaced. Which again, it's good news. But with Richard Arnold news, perhaps this is the first domino to fall in a string of dominoes of a massive era of change about Manchester United, and can only mean positive things, which I am looking forward to personally, because having better people in positions of power and authority, like more footballing attuned minds, can only benefit the club in various different ways. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy, but not so satisfied with the say the delay that we have, because the timing of everything, it might just put the January transfer window in the bin, which is it's not good. It really isn't good, because we do desperately need a lot of help, and starting really from yesterday, as the saying goes. But yeah, we're having to hold on hope. I think hold on hope that this gets sorted out ASAP, and that the big changes can continue rolling in. So all good with you, early doors. Lovely stuff. Good to hear. Jean-Claude or Jean-Luc Picard take over at Man United. I've not heard about Jean-Luc Picard. What I have heard is the likeliest candidate for taking over the CEO's position is going to be Jean-Claude Blanc. I believe that's Jean-Claude Blanc, the bloke who used to have a senior position or CEO's position at both PSG and then before that at Juventus. So yeah, Jean-Claude Blanc, current general manager of Ineos Sports and former manager of, I don't know why he said manager there, he wasn't the manager at all, of Juventus and PSG. Just to make sure, because I'm pretty sure he was never the manager. Yeah, he was he was former CEO of Juventus, so he has got experience before with that, but the general manager and former marketing executive of Paris Saint-Germain. So there's a bit of experience there, and it's a technical person that is being backed or favoured by that of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Whether it is directly influenced by Sir Jim Ratcliffe as him being the most interested candidate for that position, for that role. Um, I think we'll have to see the detail and the cut when we sort of get to it, as to who it was that influenced it. I think maybe there is, the sort of communications, the communicative influence from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, that he's said very clearly, like straight away, Joel Avram, straight away, Richard Arnold, he's gone. I don't need to have an interview with him. I don't need to speak to him. I don't need to do anything with him. I know for a fact that he's going to be replaced straight away. So I think there is an essence of that being the reason as to why, and perhaps Richard Arnold is being I'd say people are saying that he's being fired. I don't know if it's a case of, yeah, no, you're sacked. It's might be a case of, well, I agree to, I agree to, perhaps, my job's finished, right? It's done. It's basically done. Um, there's no chance I'm surviving under new ownership. Not when someone is desperate to have me replaced. So I will agree to leave, and that's probably what it is. At the end of the day, I mean, sacked is probably to say, well, he's gone against his wishes and all, but who cares? Who cares? Richard Arnold was never good. Was never good enough for Manchester United. Um, and it will be a happy, for, well, Manchester United fans, happy farewell to him. I hear a lot of people. I hear a lot of people are very, very excited by just Richard Arnold going. I would say put a lid on it right now. Put a lid on it right now, because there is a lot more people that have got to go as well. And I won't be satisfied until I see all of those guys gone. And as Early Doors here says, Patrick Stewart, the actor, played his in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Well, I'll tell you what, they're both bald. Both actors are bald. So, I mean, well, both actors. You could say that Patrick Stewart, the marketing bloke, I'm pretty sure he's marketing executive. Um, he might just be a paid actor. If it just acts like you know what you're doing at a football club, this Patrick Stewart. So maybe it could be a stunt double. But Patrick Stewart, among a name among those lists, that we'll have to say, look, we don't want you here. You are surplus to requirements. When a time comes, it will be time for you to go. It will be time for you to go. Offers, hello. Good to see you, Jaminho. Hope you're doing well, buddy. I'm sad to hear Richard Arnold is going. If I were a United fan, I'd be delighted, though. I'm happy. I'm happy to see Richard Arnold be leaving, because it is the first change. And the thing is, I'm happy to see this decision being made, but I won't be satisfied until I see a whole plethora of decisions being made as regards to replacing all people of structural integrity at this club. So for me, I'm happy. It's a good start. Now let's keep it going. Is my message of intent, and I believe, whilst it won't all be instant, it won't be all just literally overnight. The whole board is just completely refreshed to something new, but there will be we'll need a little bit of patience, but I believe that there will be all the changes that we want to see, we will see. And I believe that fans could have an influence on that as well, with expressing displeasure for certain individuals at boardroom level, or director level, or technical sporting director level. And with that unrest, they'd say, well, Jesus, the fans really, really don't like you, John. So on that basis, why should I keep you? John, if they don't like you, if millions of United fans do not like you, why should I back you? They don't want to see you here. So there could be an element to that. So, but yeah, I'm hoping that it is the start for big changes. Wolfgang Division, good to see you, mate. Just caught a glimpse of your stream with Jordan earlier. Hope everything was good on that show there. De Gea and Richard Arnold leaving in the same year. 2023 has almost been as good as 1999 was for Manchester United. Man, smash the likes for my bro. Yeah, people, smash the likes. Get those likes smashed up. Let's try and scrape onto double figures with tonight's show. It probably won't be as long as, say, last night's show was. Maybe it might stretch up to an hour or so. I was just more or less intending to cover the topics surrounding the CEO situations, among other things, and just sort of discussing a few bits around the situations at Manchester United. Richard Arnold needs to take Eriksen with him. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, whoever it is he brings in, might see a lot of players surplus to requirement. They might see a lot of staff surplus to requirement. The thing is that we've just got to sort of wait, have a little bit of patience, and just I think stick with making our voices clear and heard. That we don't want certain people in positions of power at Manchester United. Obviously, in the 1958, they'll continue their protest against Glazer ownership. They'll want to see those guys gone forever. And until the Glazers go, that's when you can see the 1958, eventually come to a rest. But obviously, I don't think it's going to be a likely scenario that the Glazers suddenly decide, we're going to up and leave now. But you never know. You never know. And Martial and McShy. I'll tell you what, there's those two names there are probably likelihoods to being sold under new ownership. And it'll be interesting to see even if it's a slight delay, even if the new ownership takes over sporting control halfway through the month, even if it takes sporting control halfway through the month, you might see quite big changes happen or big acquisitions or sales happen in that last couple of weeks of the January transfer window. It could happen. It could happen. It's possible, but that's the thing, is that we are not able to plan for a January transfer window, and it is simply going to sit just as that. John Mercer at the moment, he's continuing his job, but for how long, John? How long does Murto madness survive before Sir Jim Ratcliffe pulls the plug on you? Well, good to hear. Good to hear. Hope you had a good day. Yeah, it's been all right. Just chilling out and relaxing a little bit. Got signature refreshment, banging stuff, and all of those good things. It was class last night. It was a proper show. Proper show. I promise I won't have strangers shouting over cam. Well, I'll tell you what. If strangers or friends or whoever would like to come on to shows, they are more than welcome to. Just as long as it's not a nightclub or something like that going on in the background, then I won't have to worry about having to shout myself for the viewers to hear, and I won't have to worry about head bopping to some heavy beats playing in the background. So, or having epileptic fits from strobe lighting in your background. So, we should be okay. We should be okay, though. Scott McShot is like when you're in a crowded room and someone lets out a beef. I could almost have thought that Scott McTominay was someone who was an Irish player, but either snaked Ireland, or he's one of those Irish players that still plays for Ireland, but he's just so bad that you can't stand him. I almost have thought he was an Arsenal player that needed to be sold, but you know, it is what it is. Milk on point. It is. It's on point. It's got that proper taste. Proper taste. Unchoco latte. Speaking of lattes are my go-to coffee from Cafe Nero's on my street corner just around from where I work. And I will be there tomorrow morning. So you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a latte served nice and hot for me tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Latte, couple of croissants. Right way to start the day. Not like that. All I want to do is do it. Might get DJ Wolfgang eventually. You never know. If he snaked Ireland, there's no chance I'd be speaking of him like this. I'd be praising him every day. The polar opposite to that of Declan Rice. Mocha for me. I think my mother likes mochas. I think she does it with the dark chocolate coffee. I think she had the last one she had was from a gal's bakery. She liked it, but it was a bit too rich. Taste was a bit too rich for my liking. You know he's shambolic when every single day a rival fan is constantly throwing insults at him. That's when you know you've hit rock bottom as a footballer. Jaminho, here's the thing. If to say that a player's hit rock bottom is to say that the only way is up, right? So with that concept in mind, has Scott McTominay really hit rock bottom? Has he really reached rock bottom just yet? He might not have quite sunk to the depths of not being able to sink any further. You are not my fellow DJ, Kevin and Perry. Sorry, DJ. Oh, wow. De Gea was even worse than McTominay. Cost you 2 trophies last season. Don't get the hype around this guy. Too much love for woeful performances. Worst goalie in that Premier League history. Minus 10,000. Bloody hell. I think you made a spelling error. Spelling error, Jaminho. Ramsdale is not spelled with Degea. Yeah. Ramsdale's not spelt like that, okay? McTominay's so bad that he creates a new rock bottom every single time he plays. The backroom at United needed a clean-up. It did. It absolutely did. And thankfully, we are on the cusp of a new era. On the cusp of a new era, we've just got to see the changes come to fruition and all the changes we need to happen. And then we can start talking about Manchester United, the football club again. Maybe it's all in a step in the right direction. And that's the thing. Sacking Richard Arnold and bringing in someone else that is much more technically knowledgeable of doing a CEO's job at a football club, and especially a football club of the size of Manchester United with the demand of expectation for that club, is the first step in the right direction. But we've got a lot more steps to move in the right direction, first and foremost, before we get to any sort of finished article or finished cover for a book that would be a new chapter or a new story for Manchester United going into a new era. So it is definitely the first step in the right direction. We just got to remove everybody else as well as continuing to step in the right direction, get the right people in. And then, we can start talking about fixing the squad up, fixing whatever else needs to be fixed up. And maybe we can actually have Manchester United Football Club back again. I'll tell you what. I wonder. I wonder if Sir Jim Ratcliffe would ever consider for the logo of Manchester United, they put, instead of just Manchester United, they put football club back at the bottom. So it's not just Manchester United, it's Manchester United Football Club in the logo. I would, if he were to make that sort of decision, it's a very subtle change, but it's like one of those that I think all the fans would see it and they would actually say, actually, I've got a lot of time and appreciation for that, because it's just a highlight. This is a football club again now. It's not it's not a business that just gets bled dry just to no end. Like, it's a football club. Of course, ownership, with the Glazers sticking around, they might still take money out of the club by all means, but at least the sporting integrity is there. There's a level to upkeep there, and there is an owner in charge. Not CEO like a David Gill was. There's an owner in place that backs the sporting integrity and structure of the club. Then you have the CEO that cares. Then you have the director of football who cares, and the technical director who cares, and all of those people below them then care. And it's like one thing leads to another. It's like going from a toxic waste fountain that poisons every level of the club, starting from the top down. Ratcliffe has taken the poison bit out, has filtered everything through, and sticks a chocolate fountain there. Yeah, and this is in my image. It's a chocolate fountain, and he's sticking the most elegant chocolate anyone's ever tasted as the fuel for this machine. And then it starts pouring down, and everyone can be happy. It's chocolate everywhere, right? It's chocolate everywhere. It's a dream. It's it's a club acting like a club, right? Everyone might get mad diabetes from all of the chocolate that'll be reigning supreme, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's a sacrifice worth making. It would mean that we have Manchester United Football Club acting like a football club, which is much, much more than anybody with any affiliation or support to Manchester United Football Club in the last decade can say. That's more than what they can say for what has happened in the last decade. Which I'll go on to the next bit as well. Apparently, we've had a behind closed doors match against Hull City. Apparently, finished 1-1 in that friendly game. I don't even know what that's about. But yeah, the official word regarding this is Jean-Claude Blanc, the name mentioned, or the favourite name to take over in place of the long-term position of Richard Arnold. Of course, we've got the interim CEO, the interim of Patrick Stewart. He's taken a break from captaining USS Enterprise to now basically trying to figure out how to run a football club. I'll tell you which one's probably harder to do. Steering the USS Enterprise or steering Manchester United Football Club from disaster. I think I know which one I prefer doing, and it's definitely not the one that's in the form of a football club. But Jean-Claude Blanc, current general manager of Ineos Sports and former CEO of Juventus and finance manager of PSG, is on track to take over from Richard Arnold as soon as the buyout of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's shares is completed. So, as I've said already, the expectation is that we should get an announcement not this week, next week. But yeah, it's we should see the changes be announced, or the deal be announced next week, and then the ratification period, which they reckon which should be a 6 to 8 week period, where they can't, like Sir Jim Ratcliffe can't influence changes in that period. But I tell you what, he could technically still say to people there, but this is the changes that I'm going to plan to make anyways. Could you make those changes now on behalf of other people? With whoever it is that signs on the dotted lines, and then when I get in, I can then carry on um, from where you left off. So we'll have to see. We watched the 3-0 of Sevilla loss and tell me that it wasn't David De Gea's fault. You can't, because it was his fault. You could argue all 3 goals were his fault, or 4 not good enough, minus 10,000. Technically, no. Someone that did watch those highlights, with all of those goals, for me, nah. Maybe even if there is a partial blame for the Maguire blunder, for me. There wasn't even top 5 Spanish goalkeepers in the league last season. Raya, Adrian, Sanchez, Robles, and Gaeta were all better than him. His Golden Glove papered over the cracks. Not good. He had 17 clean sheets, by the way. He kept the ball out of the back of the net with a non-existent midfield and fairly leaky defence to some extent. 17 times. Who scored Hull's goal? No confirmation as to any of the goal scorers for that game, unfortunately. They didn't have any names. They don't have any names for us. Rashford engaged. LOL. Rashford engaged. Possibly. I don't think Rashford played in the behind doors friendly. I think he went to international duty. Now, a quick word on the director of football side. The name, obviously, that sits as favourite as well is Paul Mitchell. A lot of people saying that Paul Mitchell wants United and that Manchester United want Paul Mitchell. I think it was. I think they might just be sort of holding the trigger on this one until the takeover is completed. I don't know why they keep calling them managers. I mean, he wasn't the manager. He wasn't a manager of Monaco. But essentially, all parties want this move. All parties do want this to be a feat that Paul Mitchell does get the director of football's role at Manchester United Football Club. You know what I would really love? If Paul Mitchell has director of football and then Ralph Rangnick comes back and takes technical director. So you've got Paul Mitchell and Ralph Rangnick on the same sheet, with then Jean-Claude Blanc above them. I mean, Christ almighty, that is... What a fucking board that is. What a fucking board that is. That would be immense board. And it would be the case if that does come to fruition. Yeah, never say never. Never say never. Ralph Rangnick could come back to United in a board or back staff capacity. It could happen. Obviously, he won't ever be manager ever again. But I don't really care about him, whether he's manager or not. Well, I don't care about him managerially. I care about if he comes back to Manchester United, that he be someone that sits at a more prestigious role in the club. And you know what? That would whet my appetite. That would whet my appetite quite substantially. But I think the move, they will hold fire on it just to sort of get the seal of approval or the nod of approval from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos. But also just to sort of clear funds for it as well, because the thing is that everyone that we sack, we're paying off. Everyone we're bringing in, we're paying to sign them to their contracts, right? We're paying for them to come to work for us. So there's a lot of finances that we have to have discussions about. Supposedly, same source has claimed that Man United have also held discussions with Michael Edwards, former director of football for Liverpool, one you could say responsible for signing the players that eventually built the team for Jurgen Klopp that won the Champions League and Premier League, and also completed a domestic cup double. So again, another solid candidate. Um, there was also a report about Jadon Sancho situation, though the rift there. That's this feud between Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho. The constant batting of heads and all of that. For me, the report says that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has told Ten Hag to solve his issues with, to end his feud with Jadon Sancho. Straight away, that's just bollocks. It's a bollocks report. It's a nothing report. Straight from the off. Sir Jim Ratcliffe would not be talking to Ten Hag right now. He won't be. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is not talking to anybody, player or manager or backroom staff. He is talking to owner, Rain Group. Those are the conversation channels that he's got right now. He's not talking to anybody at the club. So straight away, no chance. There's no conversations happening there. So that report, I think, rubbish that, scrunch it up, crumple it, stick it in the bin, set the bin on fire if you really feel you have to go the extra mile. But yeah, just another rubbish nonsense report, basically. Can't blame Harry Maguire when his goalkeeper passes to a player who's marked by three players. Shambolic decision making and passing, not good enough. No, just you. I'm afraid it's like the movie Life of Pi, I think it is. The bloke that's stuck on a boat with a tiger. Except this boat hasn't got a tiger, to be fair. But it's the Gemino cruise ship, the tiny little cruise ship. Obviously, it's not like this massive, Queen Elizabeth cruise ships. It's a little Gemino cruise ship of hatred, and he's got little action figures or voodoo dolls of players that he hates in football. That's that's where Jamino is right now. He's just coasting along at his little his boat of hopes and dreams and hated of voodoo dolls of his most hated players. If Aaron Connolly scored that whole goal, it's 100,000 times more embarrassing than making De Gea number one for a decade. It is what it is. It is what it is. I, for one, as a Manchester United fan, I was an avid supporter of David De Gea. So yeah, stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Juminho. Stick it in your pipe and smoke it. But anyways, I think that's pretty much the topics covered. I think it's people saying that there's now concerns with the January transfer window as to what goes on there. Obviously, I think it's quite clear that dependent on when the deal gets announced, that's when you can probably start the timer or the countdown on the ratification period to begin. So it's just a matter of when that announcement for the deal happens, and fingers crossed it happens next week as early as possible, so that it begins the countdown to Sir Jim Ratcliffe era beginning, essentially. And we're already getting reports of changes with the CEO, and that is step one of however many that it takes for us to get to a new look Manchester United. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Early doors, time to go. Early start tomorrow. Good show. And pleasure catching up. Catch you all soon. No worries, early doors. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's pretty much the end of the show anyway here. I'm going to wrap things up nice and quick because it was never going to be a long show tonight with just the one topic to talk about there. But take it, Jimmy Wolfgang. Absolutely. Big ups to everybody for tuning in. Thank you very much for those who have liked the stream. If you haven't done so already, then please do. Plus, also do subscribe. We are down a sub. We were at 118 subscribers, but somebody, some scoundrel has unsubbed from the channel. So it's fine. It's fine. I've already got a Reaper drone looking for him, but it's all good. It's all good. Anyways, you guys that have tuned in for this show and do tune in every week, I massively appreciate your guys' support, and all the channel regulars that do very regularly stop by, those who like the streams, who watch on playbacks, who leave comments on the shows. Massively appreciate all the interactions and all of the support. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. So Early Doors Football TV, thank you very much. Guys, please also do subscribe to Early Doors. He has got his own YouTube channel as a West Ham fan. Does also some coverage on grassroots football things as well, I believe. So yeah, do go and show him some love and some support as well. Would be most appreciative. Big ups to Juminho as well, and also Wolfgang Division as well. Chelsea supporter, does his own stuff, all good content. Make sure to go and drop Wolfgang Division a sub as well, and check out his show earlier today as well. Do be sure to do all of that, all of those good things and more. But that's it from me for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. And enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evenings for whatever time you have left in the days, and whatever it is you plan to do to spending your evenings, however it is you like to spend your evenings. Enjoy it and have a good time. And yeah, that's it for today. We will be back some point, whether it be tomorrow or not. It might be tomorrow or the day after. Just keep the eyes peeled, and if you've got the subscription, do make sure that the notifications bell is switched on so you can get notified for when I do go live and all of that good stuff. Anyways, that's it from me. All have a blessed rest of your Wednesday nights, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care, goodbye, and I'll speak to you later. Ciao.